Okay, so this video is going to be about our awning, our tent poles, and installing grommets. Those are the three parts of this video. We don't have a roof rack yet, and this may all change when we do, but we don't plan on getting a roof rack till probably next year. So this was an inexpensive way to do an awning that is extremely sturdy and durable and works really well. And so in this first part, we're going to talk about the awning, and I bought the shade screen that you see there with the trees on it. You can use those or not use them, have them up or not have them up. But the awning itself on overhead, the green awning, is ripstop fabric that I made so much of our stuff with. And the reason I like the ripstop is it dries fast, it's super lightweight, and it packs in something smaller than the size of a loaf of bread for storing in the van. The big privacy screens I do roll up and put in a tote, but here's the bag that I sewed, and this is the entire it's like a 9 by 10, something like that, awning. I don't remember now, but that's it, rolled up and in this bag. And so let's go ahead and talk about sewing the actual awning itself real quick. Well, on the awnings, see that seam? Pammy sewed that seam. Can you believe that? And because the ripstop only comes in 60-inch height, so I've had to put two 60-inch heights together, so I had to join them in the middle. And then they're up on the roof with suction cups. You can see the suction cups. And then, of course, the tent poles on this side. And it worked out really well. These are our shades for sun, which worked perfectly. I'm so proud of all the sewing I did, because I never knew I'd like to sew. It's actually kind of fun. This is just raw fabric, and I sewed all the way around, and then first the two pieces together. It gives a nice shade. Because we're sitting in the hot morning desert sun, you can see it's coming around quickly. This picture here shows that you don't have to worry about your sliding door hitting your canopy, because when you put the suction cups up on the roof where a roof rack would be, that raises that fabric up plenty high over the door. Even when the door moves out to slide open, it doesn't even start to touch the canopy, so that's really good. And you can see our porch light there. That's we have 4 of those, one for each side of the van if we want it. They're motion censored, and you can set them to stay on, dim, and then get bright. If there's different settings and modes, but just a little side note on those. I just hot glue gunned half a dozen magnets on the back of that, so when we leave we just pop it off and throw it in the bench. And they're solar powered, so there are no wires, and they're wonderful. But anyway, back to the canopy. Okay, so here's our tent poles that we chose. We like them for a lot of reasons. You can see they come in at just over 8 feet tall, which is huge. This cap, not all tent poles have these caps. It did break off, but that's just not a big deal. These fit, you have to really work it on and work it off, which is good. But anything you put on here, your tent, your ropes, your tent peg ropes, your canvas or your canopy, whatever, and then you put the cap on it, and that just makes it that much more secure. And 99 inches to the top of the pole before the prong. Okay, we chose telescoping tent poles, because if you had individual poles that you had to connect when you're parked, that would be 3, 6, 9 poles instead of 3, because they're telescoping. Some of these tent pole kits, you have to have 9 pieces of pipe in a great big bag. Well, these come in just this long, slender bag, and actually comes with 4. I moved the one that I had opened out of the way, and they just screw to open up, and then you just screw them to tighten them. Never had one fail, never had one slip, drop, anything. So highly recommend these. We really, really like them. And then our suction cups that we stick the awning to the roof of the van with. We got these on Amazon. It says Airhead Sup, and so we just stick these to the top of the metal on the van, and then we run this little bungee through the the grommet on the awning and connect them. We've been in some pretty brisk winds. I wouldn't say blowing in storm winds, but some really good stiff afternoon constant winds. Never has one come off. In fact, they take quite a bit to get them off even when you're ready. Then that opens, stick it to the metal, clamp it down. That easy. And you can hang gear, bags, anything you want. Pans, well, I wouldn't hang pans on the side of my van, but anything that's a flat metal surface, we really recommend these suction cups. They are powerful. These three caps haven't come off yet. I had to just show you the one that did, but like I said, it's not a big deal. So we have four suction cups on the roof of the van, and then 3 tent poles out here. And there is the 4th tent pole that we carry with us in case we want to just make a big square awning without using the van. We have that option. You put your awning up to trees or whatever you want to do. The tent poles that we bought were for all 4 of them, with the 2 bags and with the ropes and the the stakes, were $75. But there's some things in our build that we chose not to skimp on, and these were one of them. You can get cheaper everythings for this setup, but it ain't gonna last. Trust me from experience. The stakes that you see here, you can see they're like a long nail, and then they have the hook at the top. It's nice because when you hammer the long nail into the ground, you're not hitting plastic, so the plastic's not going to break. You're actually hitting the head of that big long spike. And the rope is super easy to work. It's funny because I was reading the reviews on Amazon for this tent pole set, and people could not figure out how to use the tent pole ropes. So I'm going to just go over that briefly. If you know how to use these, go ahead and skip forward 20 seconds. But for those of you who don't know, here's a little tip. The green guy lines that came with the tent poles have this loop at one end, and then they have the guy line tensioner, which is that copper looking piece there on the other end, which makes a big loop in the middle. Let's go outside and I'll show you how those work.
Hey Tony, you talking to me?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you talking to me.
Jay lived in Hell's Kitchen in New York.
I get Uncle Guido down here.
Bust out your kneecaps.
Yeah, he starts with the fingers first. Yeah.
Jay can get away with this because he's Italian.
Anyway, gang, we're going to show you today, and it's really simple. It kind of seems intimidating to start off with, but it really isn't. And it's how to place a grommet into fabric if you're wanting to make the shades and so forth, sails like we did. You can get this kit at Home Depot or probably Lowe's or any place, and you have 2 sizes, and it's really, really easy to do. This is a punch. This is the smaller size. This is a punch. This is the larger size. The larger one fits this. Put it like that. The smaller one fits that. You actually have, this goes underneath because it's what you're going to punch against. You have a smaller side, which fits the smaller one. You have a larger size, which fits the larger one. Okay? This is actually what goes underneath. And you also have two dies. This is the smaller one, which would go with this one. This is the larger one, which goes with that one. And you screw those. We're going to use a smaller one today, only because I only have one big one left. And you screw that into the end of the punch. Okay. Now the first thing we have to do is make a hole in our fabric. And that's not really hard to do. There's your little block of wood and you put that underneath. Okay, when we're traveling, I use this small little block that comes with the kit. I just find it easier in the shop to use a larger piece of wood. And I'll use this one. You can see where I've used it for all kinds of stuff, and it makes it real easy. Put your fabric down. Now we're using the small grommet, so we take the small punch, and you'll see the cutting edge on the punch. You would have your spot marked where you want to put your grommet. And this is a ripstop fabric. And it takes a little, there we go, we got the hole in there. There's a little pieces come out. And we're done with this. Okay, the next thing we do is we put, this?
The little one.
Pick this, you got two sides. That would be the side for the big one. This is the side for the small one. All right? Now, that goes there. This goes here. This goes here. Okay. Then we've put the small in here. And we drop that right down in that
Wait, show me
hole.
that piece again, that top piece.
See, there's two sizes.
There you go, okay. Okay,
See,
got
two
it.
sizes. We're using the small size.
Okay.
And the instructions are right on the back of the deal if you get confused like I do a lot.
Hey, I'm the blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then with this one, you hit and you rotate. As you're pounding, you rotate this around.
Okay.
All right, and the reason for that is so that you get an even. And don't be shy. And if it sticks a little bit like that, it means you've got it done. There you are. Grommet.
That's what he said.
It's just that easy. And if you'll notice, I'm going to hold this up for you.
Yep.
If you'll notice how this compresses down, that's the important thing. This is pretty thin, you have it a little thicker. And this wraps around that one. And this would be where the top of the grommet that you're looking at normally would be like that. But this has to be compressed down against there. Because if it isn't, it is not going to hold it. Okay?
Yep.
And like I said, don't be shy. And whack that mama. You can't hurt it. And if your surface is not solid enough, you're going to be able to tell that because it's not compressing down. Now, see how we're compressing down? All around the edges?
Yep.
It's still really not quite down there yet. But that would do it. You can put on something a little harder, probably maybe a little too much cushion there.
Oh!
Get me laughing, I hit my phone.
That's what you get.
Now,
Oh,
let's
it's
look at
been decades since I've had a carpet burn, honey.
Anyway, you see now that's all smashed down around this ring now?
Yeah, that looks good.
And that's what you need to do. If it's not down flat flush like that, you need to do it again. And you get a blood blister on your thumb.
For being naughty.
Being naughty.
There you go.
And that's the end of it, folks.
That's good. That's really good. Yep.
Oh, I got it.
Ooh, let me see. You did. Show me. Oh! That's your karma.
Pam gets me laughing when I'm not paying attention. I get my thumb.
Well, thank you, Jay, for that demonstration.
You're more than welcome. And then, you know, you need to put your tools back. If you just leave them laying around,
Just like your dad always told you.
you know, you're going to have a mess because you're not going to be able to find what you need or what you want, what you have to have. And it's just going to be a mess.
Now if you'll just carry that rule to the kitchen for me.
Carry it wherever you want.
Oh.
Let's see. We've got a little block of wood goes here.
All right, folks, I'm
Little
hot. I'm
punches
going in.
There. Where's my other punch?
Up here where you left it.
Oh. I wonder I couldn't find it.
Oh, your thumb. That's
Yeah, I got it.
horrible. You did.
So there we are. That's the kit. Real easy. And I would suggest that you just simply... And you can buy extra grommets, which I've done. Because we used the large grommet. So that probably took up all that was in here plus a package of 12, I believe it was. Something like that. I got one left over.
For all our stuff, yeah.
So that's just really, really easy. It looks to be hard to do, but it's not. Just don't be shy. You gotta whack that stuff. Okay.
Adios, amigo.
There it is.
Okay, so here's the grommets Jay put in our awning. We had 3 across the side that the suction cups stick to the van roof. We have a medium roof. So 4 across that side and then 3 on the outside for the 3 tent poles. And I'll show you the tent poles in a minute. What we did was we reinforced these with tape, obviously. This is like a blue, not a duct tape. I think it's like a blue off-brand Gorilla tape. And we put one piece around this way. And then we put another piece around this way. So there's 4 layers in there to help keep it strong. Everybody says, well, just if your corner rips, just put some tape on it and put another grommet in it. Well, we're going to stay ahead of the game. We went ahead and put the tape on with the grommet first. So anyway, there's a lot of work and a lot of detail in a van build, especially when you do it yourself. But it's at moments like this, when we were at camp one night, and I was looking out my window of my bed at the privacy panels that we hang, and the moon shining on the panels and a really soft breeze outside. It was cool that night. Well, it's cool every night here, but it was just really awesome, and these are the moments that make it totally all worth it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.